My fellow citizens and residents, good day. From the beginning, even as we were suddenly closing school buildings to protect our students, teachers, and communities, the Ministry of Education has been working toward the goal of safely reopening. What happens in school buildings is an essential part of our children's development on so many levels: academic, social, emotional, and nutritional. These can never be fully replaced by a virtual environment. We want to get our students back to school as soon as possible for face-to-face instruction in a safe environment, and this is the driving goal and the basis for all of our decisions. However, the imminent safety and health of students and staff must and always will be the first priority. This month, through collaboration with school leaders and critical interministerial partners and stakeholders, we released our guidelines for the reopening of primary and secondary schools in St. Kitts and Nevis, which is compliant with the National Overall Recovery Plan and the government's Emergency Powers COVID-19 No. 13 Regulations 2020 orders. Today, I want to update you about the protocols and guidelines we expect to institute in all schools going forward. In April, it was a public health imperative to close all schools in the immediate emergency phase addressing the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, with our nation firmly in recovery, the Ministry of Education, in consultation with the National Task Force on COVID-19, have determined how best to reopen schools while maintaining the necessary health and safety protocols to mitigate the spread of COVID-19. As schools begin face-to-face instruction in September, and depending on the school context, specifically student population and the size of the physical plant, some schools will begin the academic year on a shift system. Under our operational framework, all schools, public and private, have developed and submitted education plans for face-to-face instruction in schools which have been reviewed and endorsed by the Ministry of Education. All schools have laid out a path for safe and effective in-person instruction. Schools that will operate on a shift system will utilize a blended education approach. The blended education approach will capitalize on both in-person instruction and virtual learning, which is intended to enhance what takes place in school and remediate teaching and learning gaps. To ensure that our schools succeed, the Ministry of Education developed a framework for operation with a series of guidelines to aid principals and school management teams in the effective management of schools during this period. Critical elements of the framework are as follows. First, all schools are required to follow the Ministry of Education guidelines for the reopening of schools 2020-2021, which stress the importance of hand washing, physical distancing, and face masks. Face masks must be worn by all staff and students, particularly when physical distancing is not possible. We cannot stress this enough. Second, all schools will implement entry protocols which require health screening for all persons who wish to access the school's compound. These protocols, which we are releasing to the nation today, stress several elements, including communication and ensuring that a process is in place to notify the school community of a positive test and work with the Ministry of Health to activate contact tracing procedures. Schools will follow instructions from the Ministry of Health for all matters regarding entry screening protocols, quarantine, exclusion, and return to school for persons with a positive test for COVID-19 and those who had close contact. Third, all school systems must meet a series of benchmarks before reopening, including adopt entry and departure protocols as outlined in the framework for the reopening of schools, set forth physical distancing protocols in all teaching, learning, and administration spaces in conjunction with effective signage to support adherence. Adopt health procedures for cleaning and sanitization. implement a system for tracking student attendance during both in-person and virtual learning spaces, incorporate equity in educational assessments and placement of students in keeping with Ministry of Education policies. As we look forward to our schools reopening this September, we remain committed to building a system that will deliver education safely and effectively to each and every student, with educational equity as the cornerstone. This includes a focus on special education and addressing persistent digital divide. The Team Unity government is committed to ensuring that we maximize the use of funding to help schools and students most affected by COVID-19 pandemic. We know that gaps in educational opportunity and access have been further exposed and widened by the COVID-19 pandemic. To address this, diagnostic assessments will be conducted as students return to school. Additionally, tutoring and learning programs to address learning loss due to time away from direct instruction and teacher intervention will be implemented. As always, we will be resolute in our approach on equity, providing targeted learning opportunities to those who need it most. I fully appreciate the wide range of input we have received from our stakeholders, educators, parents, and teachers. The reopening of schools is a deeply personal issue. I hear every day from those who passionately demand that schools simply be reopened, as well as those who are concerned about ensuring a safe return to schools. The Ministry of Education's framework for the reopening of schools strikes a balance between the education needs of students and ensuring health protocols are adhered to in a sustainable fashion. We offer an approach that we hope will lead to more face-to-face school time for our nation's children. In closing, it is incumbent on me to remind everyone that what happens in the weeks ahead is largely dependent upon each of us. Our actions and continued diligence to social distancing, taking all necessary precautions to keep each other safe. It means wearing masks, washing hands, and being honest about our health assessments, staying home and quarantining when necessary. Parents and guardians, you are the strongest allies by conducting daily morning temperature checks and providing extra vigilance to help ensure that healthy children are boarding school buses and entering school buildings. As we experienced in April, parents will be left at times with impossible tasks of coordinating work schedules with blended learning. It has often been said that it takes a village, and again, we will need to be reliant on family members, childcare providers, and other partners. During this period of unprecedented sacrifice, teachers are expected to be on duty from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. daily. This has become necessary to ensure that the learning gaps that would have resulted during the closing months of the last school year would be narrowed. This has been decided in consultation with the Human Resources Management Department in our continued efforts to ensure the success of our students' education. We thank school administrators, teachers, and support staff for the anticipated cooperation as we demonstrate our resilience and commitment to national development. I am confident that if we stay on our current track, we can and will successfully reopen schools this September. Again, we will rely on every available resource to ensure that our nation's children have full access to the quality, effective, and safe education that they deserve. The task of educating every child in St. Kitts and Nevis in the face of the COVID-19 pandemic is complex, but not impossible. It requires the combined efforts of parents, students, teachers, administrators, government, business, and stakeholders. Together, we must protect, support, and empower our teachers, students, and persons working in schools. Thank you very much for your attention, and may God continue to bless and protect us as a nation.